Hello, everyone. I'm Mario Florio from NBC 10. Welcome to a Food Podcast, the place you can come to hear all about the great things happening on the local food scene, the wonderful restaurants we have, the local companies making delicious food products, the fun community events that highlight local cuisine. Joining me now is Elizabeth Fraden, formerly of Betta Bakes, gluten-free crackers, and now she's here with a new name that's even better. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mario.
So I alluded to it. You used to be Betta Bakes, now you're Betta Bakes. Tell us about, first of all, the brand change.
Well, we rebranded the company is growing, it's evolving, we're going a little further afield, and it just seemed like a time, you make so many decisions when you're starting your food business that it's just like, let me get out there. And so I was interested in kind of getting my name out of the front of it and just kind of moving on, and Betta was such a beautiful name that we moved on to that.
Yeah, I love it. It's Betta, and it's very appropriate in Rhode Island.
Yeah,
that
I know.
Almost sounds like you're saying.
That was a cute aspect, right?
Yeah,
They're Betta.
They're Betta. So tell us how long ago you did start the company and how that came about.
Started 7 years ago at Hope in Maine. They really helped me get going for sure. I'm still baking there. But really, 23 years ago, my daughter was diagnosed with celiac disease, which at the time I'd never heard of. And she also has type 1 diabetes, so if I found stuff that was ready-made, it was really wreaking havoc with her blood sugar. It was full of starch, full of sugar, and it didn't taste very good. So I had always been an avid at-home baker, and I just said, let's play around gluten-free. Let's just do it. And over time, really just started testing things on friends and family who would say, I can't believe it's gluten-free. Using whole grains, reducing sugars, and really coming up with products that were, or baked goods that were delicious, nutritious, and gluten-free, which fit the bill for our family at the time.
Yeah, so it worked for your family, and then you're like, hey, I can make a living out of this,
well,
a business out of it?
I think I knew that there were other people who wanted the same thing, nice flavor, good ingredients, and we're seeking that out.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many local food companies that I've interviewed, the owners, who they started the same way. Like someone says, I couldn't find a good cheese, and then they started their own cheese company. Or I had to cook for my child who's gluten-free, and then they just business was born.
Yeah, I know. It's really fun. It's really interesting to kind of have a second chapter, because I'd been an at-home mom, and then my kids were out of the house, so I was like, yeah, let's see if this has legs. Let's do this.
So tell us how often you're in the kitchen. You do still everything at Hope in Maine, huh?
We're still baking out of Hope in Maine. They probably want to get rid of us, but I refuse to leave. But we're there, 2 or 3 days a week, depending, because we're making them in small batches, essentially to order, so when you get a Betta Bakes cracker, it's really been freshly made. We don't use preservatives, and we use these nice ingredients, so we want everything to be at peak freshness for you. So
so it's not like you're stockpiling them and they're all stored in this warehouse,
right, for decades. Right? No, they are a freshly made product.
Yeah.
So
how many different kinds of crackers do you have right now?
We have 5. We have our 4 original flavors: classic, which is our plain pumpkin seed cumin, everything bagel spice, and currant fennel. And our newest addition is summer garden herb with dill and chive, sweet basil, and some calendula petals. So it's pretty as well as tasty.
Yes. And you come up with the flavors yourself, kind of?
Yeah. And sometimes they're based on things that I've had that were gluten products that I'm seeking to, replicate that flavor. So, but yeah, I'm always looking for new ideas, for flavors.
Yeah. How long does it take you to make a batch of crackers?
Oh, goodness. A long time. It's not an automated process completely. So,
are you hand mixing everything like the?
We're using, using kind of industrial equipment, but we have a floor mixer, but we're, integrating all of the processes by hand, rotating them in the ovens and stuff like that. So we'll be in the kitchen for 7 to 8 hours for a shift, and that'll be 1 or 2 batches of crackers, which is probably about 40 or 50 pounds total. So it's not a lot, No,
I know. Yeah, you really do small batches at a time, and they really are freshly made when people get them.
Yeah.
And tell us, where are you going around local markets? Are you in local stores? How can people find your products?
Well, at bettabakes.com it lists, you can order that way, but it lists our farmers markets, we do special events, holiday markets, gluten-free expos, vegan expos, things like that, and farmers markets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then small independent retailers. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the missing element.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you're definitely in a lot of different places. People can find you.
Yeah.
And they can order right off your website too.
They can, and if they're a Rhode Islander, and they don't want to pay shipping, they can pick them up at Hope and Main in Warren. So yeah, lots of different options for sure.
Do you ever think about? Obviously, you have the flavors you have now, or you think about always adding to that?
Yeah. I have an idea for a slightly sweeter cracker, so we're working on that right now.
Are you going to stick with crackers, or do you feel like down the road there could be other things?
Down the road there could be some other things. We play around in the kitchen for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, they're sitting in front of me and they're so tempting, so I got to try some of these. First of all, I love they're so thin and crispy. I just love the shape and kind of the consistency of them.
I'm really proud of both of those things. The shape is kind of a large oval, and my daughter uses them a little bit like a flatbread. She'll make avocado toast on the pumpkin seed cumin. We'll put a little, salad, egg salad or chicken salad on an everything bagel, so... and then the texture, they're crispy, but they're not too hard, which sometimes with a gluten-free cracker, they're really, really rock hard.
Right.
So.
All right. So what is this one right here that I have in my hand?
That one's our classic sea salt, and it's our plain variety, but it has the most lovely, subtle flavor. Some customers liken it to a wheat thin, and it really is maybe the most versatile. You could sweeten it, you could, cheeses, whatever you want would go with that.
Nice crunch. Good flavor.
Thank you.
And yeah, I feel like this could go with about anything. And you brought some local products that I can kind of test with these.
Sure.
Tell us about this.
Well, there's a company, a new company out of Hope and Maine called the Naked Fig, and they're making traditional hummus. And that's what you're going to try, and that's really delicious with the crackers.
That's a great combo, yeah. Tell us about this. Is this your new one? This looks like the summer herb.
Summer garden herbs. So you'll see, herbs on top there. I like that paired with creamy cheeses, but kind of mild cheeses. So we have a cheese from Sweet and Salty Farm in Little Compton, Rhode Island. It's called Little Mermaid, and it actually has a little seaweed on the outside of it. But it's a rind ripened cheese and very creamy.
That's a good combo.
Right? And their cows are all pastured. There's a lot in the news now about pastured beef, so they just roam and eat the grass in Little Compton.
Yeah. And the cracker itself, even without the cheese.
They're nice just on their own as a snack, for sure.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like you could snack on this and not feel guilty that you're snacking.
Right. Virtuous snacking.
And what is this cracker?
That's our everything bagel. And it's really robust. We use a local company, Ocean State Pepper Company, makes our spice blend, and they'll put a little chili flake in it even. So every once in a while you get that.
And what's this cheese
That's
you
a
brought
nice cheddar. That's a Vermont cheddar, but a nice sharp cheddar, which is
nice.
nice with it.
And you can mix and match these crackers with any kind of topping, right?
You sure could, yeah. Depending on what your favorites are.
This everything bagel is really good. Got a good flavor.
Some people crumble them up and use them as a topping, like on a casserole or on a salad to add a little crunch.
And this one, what does it look like? It's got something in it.
That's our currant fennel.
Oh.
And that's a little bit of the staff favorite. It's still a savory cracker, but it's got a little bit of sweetness from the currants. And again, goat cheese is delicious with that. I didn't bring you any, but...
It's okay. I forgive you.
Right. Next time.
Yeah.
But ripened cow's milk cheeses, but just try it by itself. It's really got a lovely flavor. It's the one that I think we nibble on the most when we're baking.
Do you nibble a lot when you bake?
A little bit. It's quality control.
Of course, right? Yeah.
We've got to make sure the crunch is just right.
Exactly. And then there was the pumpkin one, but I don't know if I grabbed that one. Is that here still?
That's right here. Yep.
And tell us what's in this one.
Pumpkin seed cumin, really lots of cumin in the taste towards the end. I love them with hummus. I love them with the cheddar. We've sourced pumpkin seeds from Western New York State. They're an heirloom variety, and they're just so beautiful. So
I'm going to try that. That cumin, you can go just enough.
Yeah, it kind of comes toward the end, I
Yeah?
think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try it with the hummus. I think it'll go great with hummus, right?
Yeah.
And with the cheese, too.
With all of it. Don't skimp. Eat.
Eat, Mom. So, no. While I'm finishing eating, tell folks again the best way they can find out about how to find your products. And
I think the website does it all. BettaBakes.com. It lists our events, it lists our sales, and you could also order that way if you'd like to. So, and it tells the story. So
yeah, it's a great story. I love it. I love
Thank
to
you.
see people thriving, and like you said, like
Yeah.
a new chapter, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, but
yeah.
it's great. So we look forward to seeing more from Betta Bakes in the future.
Me too. Yes, absolutely.
All right, awesome. Elizabeth Fraden, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Definitely check out Betta Bakes. They'll make you go. And you don't even have to be gluten-free to eat them because they're delicious. They'll make you go. Mmm.